Hey, Matt from the A-Team here, and today on 4-Minute Film School, we're going from this to this using only lighting. Let's go. Hey there, my name is Matt, and I'm excited to introduce myself as a new host for 4-Minute Film School. One of the key differences between amateur video and cinematic footage is lighting, and today we're going to cover the basics, 3-point lighting. 3-point lighting has been the Hollywood standard for years now. We've been using it because it looks incredibly eye-pleasing, and it looks great on your subject within a scene. 3-point lighting has been the foundation of all light placements on a set. It's a language that helps us talk about where our lights come from in our scene. But what about 1-point lighting? What about 4-point lighting? Any combinations of light work, but today we're focusing on the main 3-point lighting. 3-point lighting refers to the light placement on a film set, 2 in front of the subject and 1 behind. The 2 in front are the key light and the fill light, and the 1 behind is the backlight. The first light is the key light. This is your main light in your setup. It's also the brightest and covers the face the most. This light can be a side light, a frontal light, or a high angle light. The most common type of light comes at a 45-degree angle up and to the side, giving a really cool triangle light on the subject's face. This is also known as the Rembrandt light. The second light is the fill light, which is usually on the other side of the key light. And all this light does is just fill in the shadows given by the key light. A typical way of using the fill light is to place it on the opposite side of the key light while dimming down the brightness so you don't flatten out the face. Sometimes all a fill light is a reflector board utilizing the key light bouncing back at the subject. Other times, there's no fill light at all. The third light in this 3-light setup is the backlight, and this sole purpose is to separate the subject from the background. A typical backlight is placed about 45 degrees behind the subject, illuminating the shoulders and the back of the head. Next is a hair light, which is directly behind the subject, illuminating the shoulders, the back of the head, and giving a really cool halo effect. And then lastly, the rim light, which is placed way off to the side, illuminating the chin and the jaw. From here, you can kind of mix and match for all kinds of combinations. For example, what if we took away the fill light? This is called low-key lighting because the overall lighting hitting the subject's face is low. This is called high-key lighting because overall the subject's face is very bright. Or maybe you just have 1 backlight, or maybe 2 backlights and 1 fill light. Or maybe your key light is directly in front of the subject, or overhead for a top light. Or maybe you want the key light and the backlight to be on the same side. Or maybe you want the backlight to be a rim light to create an interesting shape on the subject's face. So as you can see, there's a ton of different combinations for your lighting setup. None are particularly correct though. Each light can be defined as a key light, a fill, or a backlight. It just depends on what you're using it for in your scene. In this setup, the key light is in front of the subject, creating a more flat appearance. But let's move the light over to the side of the subject. Let's skip the fill light, and now we have a shot that looks a bit cinematic, but the subject is still blending into the background. So let's add a backlight. And now that light is popping her out from the scene. So let's recap. The key light is the main light in your scene. It can come from the front, flattening your subject, or it can come from the side, splitting the light on the face. Or it can come from above, otherwise known as a top light, and it spreads across from above. Or it could be a Rembrandt light, which creates dynamic shadows on the face. The fill light fills in the shadows of your subject and can be bright, dark, or gone completely. The backlight accents the subject and either highlights the back of the head and shoulders, the hair, or the side. Question of the day: what is your favorite light combination? Let us know in the comments below for a chance to win a super cool Aputure MC. If you've enjoyed these videos, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the social media platforms, and stay tuned for next week where we talk about how to modify any light for the best possible look. And until then, happy shooting!